Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thinking game number 66. Got one of my brothers. We go way back, like 77 Impala, riding a McClellan back. Did we listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire and the old Impala or the new Impala? That's when we just listen to Earth, Wind, and
Oh
Fire.
yeah, we used to listen to some old school songs, man. Earth, Wind,
I
and Fire,
still
Temptations.
still be rocking that. I still be listening to that. I'll be at
Yeah,
work, man,
man.
and I'll pop it up on YouTube. And I'm like, man, they used to wear that stuff back in the day, man.
Yeah, man. Listening to the classics.
Yeah. So this podcast is just a general discussion and for entertainment purposes only. Scenarios talked about on this podcast are general scenarios and for entertainment and insight purposes only. That way we don't hear nobody talking crazy. You know how people are trying to troll you, man.
Yeah.
So getting into our first topic, it's kind of like a vanilla topic. And I ran across this on YouTube, pretty much looking at some stuff. And Sarah Silverman, they having this SAG actor strike. So she said she gets mad and said that she turned down jobs trying to stay on the same page in solidarity, but some of her friends are taking independent films approved by SAG.
Mm.
So she dry. You think she dry snitching, or you think that it's people got to do what they got to do, man? Take care of their family, man.
I mean, everybody, everybody ain't gonna be dedicated to the cause. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, they start out that way.
yeah, even when you're talking about people who are, trying to unionize, and everybody got their own best interests in
Oh yeah.
mind. And so, like, she probably sitting on some reserve. You know what I'm
Oh, for
saying?
sure.
As,
She
as
rolling, man.
far
I
as like
mean,
money, she might not have to do a movie every year or do a TV show here and there. When she, she done built up her wealth over the years, and then you got
exactly.
people who, you know, live different lifestyles or not as financially
Boy,
comfortable, and they gonna do what they got to do too.
she probably
But
still making money on specials.
yeah, yeah.
What I'm
So
saying?
like,
Residuals. Yeah.
but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she kind of telling a little bit, but at the end of the day, even in the workplace industry, people are gonna cross that picket line. They're
Boy,
gonna be scabs. You know what
boy.
I'm saying? And, so it's always people who break the strikes and break the picket lines and all that type of stuff. So
I wonder, has there ever been a time where everybody strike at one time was on the same page? I don't think I ever seen that. Like
nah,
whether it's sports or work. Um, I've never seen like everybody at one time and nobody go across the line. Everybody, I think they'll probably make a big impact, but it's hard to
yeah,
really do something like that because everybody has their own mindset of how how they
yeah,
go do stuff. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember watching, like, what I'm saying, ESPN 30 for 30 when the NFL players tried to do it that one year,
Yeah,
and they just brought in the players who, what I'm saying, who never had that NFL shot. They like, man,
exactly.
forget this. Try to work at the
Everybody
grocery store.
bring in the replacements, baby.
Yeah, they tried it. The NBA tried it with the lockout, that one year. And, players got brought in from all over the place to play for these teams. So,
Yeah, I was telling Jay, you got to think if you don't want to be an actor, and Marvel or somebody offer you 400 grand to be a villain or something, and you die in a movie, and you ain't gonna never be an actor again. Who wouldn't take that one hit? That's hard, man. I mean,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
you know,
Especially if you ain't in SAG. I guess SAG run a whole bunch of that. If you don't join SAG, it's a lot of stuff you can't do. But man, it's pretty crazy.
yeah. But at the same time, like, I I understand like what they talking about with, like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
unfair wages, all that type of stuff. Like, I can't remember the guy's name, but he played a janitor on Abbott Elementary,
Yeah.
and he showed one of his residual checks,
Ooh.
and one of his residual checks, he didn't say what show it was or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was only like 8 or 9 cents.
Man, for real. I
And he
get it.
was like, "This is what we talking about." He's like, "Man, I showed this to my brother when I was talking about why we striking." He bust out laughing in my face. He was like, "I was
Yeah,
like, this is an example of a
man.
residual check." And he put up the check to the screen on camera, and it was real. So
Yeah.
they are striking for a reason and all that. But
Oh yeah,
yeah,
in business they always gonna try to pay you as less as they can. You gotta finesse
yeah,
them out there because they're gonna always try. Whether it's corporate world, acting world, all regular people feel the same thing because,
Yeah,
like, say we say on the podcast all the time, like working like at a state or something like that or federal, they put you on a pay scale.
yeah,
And if they start you out at 35, you may not even reach the top of that pay scale. You know what I'm saying? Now, the way
yeah,
things go now, they give you a
yeah,
bonus, but they don't give you a raise. You know what I'm
yeah. So
saying? That's
I
crazy.
mean, I imagine she talking about some folks, like I said, that probably ain't made it as far as she done made it, because we're
Yeah.
talking about independent films. You know what I'm saying?
And
It's
then,
like,
you got those people that say, yeah, we on that side, we on this side, we on that side. Like, hey, man, I got to take care of my family, man.
yeah, they got
Yeah.
to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And a lot of people who had independent films about to come up lost opportunities to release their
Yeah.
independent film because of the
Because they
strike.
can't give SAG. Yup. That's for sure.
Yeah, so hey, like everybody got their own interests in mind and got their own bills. So
Yeah.
it is what it is, man.
So
But
now we're going to move into the corporate side and a couple of laws passed, and you know way more about this than I do. That's why I brought you
yeah,
on. And first one is Act 195 said teens under the age of 16 will no longer need a work permit through the Arkansas Department of Labor and Licensing. And the thing I have is, will this be abused?
I
If
mean,
it haven't already been abused, which I imagine it probably have.
yes, it's going to be abused because, like, you know what I'm saying, like real talk. You couldn't get a job beforehand without your parents' permission until you were 16.
Yeah.
Now, people are going to be 14 and 15 to be able to just go apply for jobs, not tell their parents, and
Oh,
start
it is.
working.
That is a
You know what
different
I'm
angle.
saying?
Yeah.
And it'd be totally legit. So, like,
Yeah.
think of think about a ninth grader who probably don't ain't interested in going to school. You can
Mm.
start. Somebody got to double check me on this, but it's legal for a 14-year-old to be working Monday through Friday
Ooh,
as
wow.
early as like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
So you know what I'm saying. So this is why the permit puts in place where say we checking on them while they working, checking on their employer.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying. The work permit. If you get a work permit back in the day, your job would have to tell the Department of Labor, I'm not paying them minimum wage. And they would
Mm.
have to approve that. So
Okay.
now, so you might have kids working for lower than minimum wage. Uh,
Man. Yeah.
this going to probably increase the dropout rate, to be honest.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because, when you give a ninth or 10th grader or a 14-year-old an option to go make money versus going to school, and to do it secretively, they probably would choose work a lot of times in
Yeah.
those instances.
And that's what I'm going to do, man. I'm trying to, work on some stuff and make go around and talk to kids. Eventually, go to high schools and let them know, like,
Yeah,
um, you know, you can drop out and do that, but the money that you thinking you're gonna make, it ain't gonna be enough. Um,
yeah. You end up getting stuck in those low wage paying jobs
yeah,
because when you come into those entry level positions at that age, the ceiling for what you can actually do in those industries is not that high. You
yeah.
know,
I
and
was just at the Chamber of Commerce, man, talking to these guys. Something I seen they was looking at some business plan stuff I was working on, and he was asking me about the media thing that I be doing. I was telling him, man, just trying to expose kids, as I go on to different career fields. Because I told them, if you ask a kid where I'm from in Southwest, what's an investment banker? They don't, I don't know what an investment banker is. What is that? Those, I told them a lot of kids don't even know what the Chamber of Commerce is. Or ask them what's Stevens Building. I don't know, just a building I pass by downtown. I got Stevens Inc. on it. I don't know what they do.
yeah,
And I said a lot of times the information, man, you limited by the information, And I
yes,
realized that as I got older, like, wow, I didn't know about that when I was younger. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and
And
so yeah, it affects you when you don't have an opportunity to diversify your interests at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you get those opportunities when you're adult, but when
yeah,
you're stuck in the routine of work at a very young age, and you're not exposing
yeah,
yourself to different opportunities,
yeah,
know, you like I said, you end up staying in the working class, end up with those low wage paying jobs, the dead end
yep,
jobs, people say. And so this is just another, like I say, like most of the time when kids were going to get those work permits, they'd go to their school counselor. And
Yeah.
then, you know what I'm saying, take it to their home to their parent, and then parent gotta approve it. The job know that like we have somebody underage working here, there's gonna be different rules this person. They gotta
Yeah.
start at this time and end at this time. So
So
now
what
they
was your
just
first? When was your first job when we was in high
fast
school?
food, McDonald's. Yeah.
Because my first job when I was after ninth grade and working with my little brother that had a BP and definitely wasn't no work permit involved.
Yeah.
changing tires and changing oil.
Yeah.
Working all day pretty much like probably what 7 to 4, man in the
Yeah,
summer.
and that was a little bit different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, what I'm saying is it's a lot of situations like that people just if you don't know about it, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was bad, but what I'm saying is
nah, it definitely was probably.
yeah, yeah.
But
But
it,
it's
but
a
it, but see, the thing about it is, what's really going on is this trend of underage workers working in toxic and hazardous places.
oh yeah, for sure.
They, you know, they're 13 and 14 working in factories
Yeah,
cleaning up chicken
I
blood,
believe it. Yeah.
and then you know, there's been a number of
And they don't
lawsuits.
have to, they don't have to pay them like they do an adult, in
Yeah,
their 30s. You don't have to pay him. They can
yeah.
pay them lower because they don't understand, the market and stuff
Yeah,
like that. So
exactly.
I
They don't
get
know
what
when
you're saying. Yeah.
they've been taken advantage of, and they're being abused in the workplace. You know, they don't know their
Yeah.
rights as workers. And man, there's been lawsuits filed against these people for like having
I
underage
believe it.
workers in hazardous
Hmm.
conditions, working long hours, and they having to pay millions and millions of dollars. And the penalties if this stuff happens in Arkansas are going to be stiffer
Yeah.
because they already know through this Youth Hiring Act that a lot of people are going to try to take advantage of the youth. And
Yeah.
so if they get exposed and they get caught, they're gonna be paying, you know, a lot of money in fines and penalties, and possibly risk getting their businesses shut down. So, you
And I
know,
think if I go outside the box, you know how my mind works. If I go outside the box, the thing that I see that could really why this could be bad is that there are a lot of maybe say single family parents homes that you know how we grew up and some guys are helping their mom out, helping their family out. They get kind of put in that situation early than they probably need to be. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like we need you to go work and take care of the family. Don't worry about school right now. I can see that. I hope it don't happen, but I can see that happening. You know what
I
I'm saying?
mean,
And
that's honestly that's gonna happen with a lot of people.
yeah,
It's like, you know,
yeah,
we when we growing up, we see the kids that gotta start being responsible a little bit sooner. You know what I'm saying? We see
yeah,
the kids, man. I remember growing up with folks who had to, you know, file for their independence and go get their own apartments while they still was in high school because they couldn't live with their
yeah,
parents.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And so like this right here is, you know, something that I think in the bigger scheme of things, they're preparing for students to drop out
man.
because of all the things in
Sad,
terms
man.
of education,
Yeah.
charter schools, all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I give you one example, and you know what I'm saying, real quick. The city of New Orleans went to an all charter school system.
Oh
And
wow.
what ended up happening was the dropout rate skyrocketed because
Whoo.
kids were getting kicked out of school left and right. And guess what?
Oh,
When kids
I
get
get
kicked
it.
out of charter schools, they got to go to another charter school. But
Yeah.
then you have to find transportation because there's no
Right.
bus system
There's no bus, right?
because there's no
Yep.
school district. There's no school board to like fight for why you got kicked out of school and talk to your
Yeah.
parents. And
Yeah.
so what ended up happening is you got kids who are truants
Yeah.
um, or revert to like, you know what I'm saying, petty crime because
Yeah.
they got idle time all day long.
Then you
And then,
lose that diversity factor too. That's gonna be a big thing too. That diversity factor, because
yeah,
a lot of families, in the Southwest and like just like they can't afford to take their kids out of public school, so their
yeah,
kids gonna stay there. But parents who can afford that, they gonna pull their kids out and send them to the rich kids school or however they go. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Then you're gonna
And
lose that
so
diversity. Yeah.
that's why you need your public schools. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's why it's important that, you know what I'm saying, our tax dollars support our public schools because when those public schools shut down and there are no other options, they end up, especially in these rural towns, they consolidate with another town
Yeah.
and then they got to figure out
Yeah.
transportation, all that type of stuff. And so I think they're preparing
Yeah.
for a lot of kids to drop out and they're going to send them to the workforce early. But
Man.
the other option is when
Yeah.
you don't get a job, though, where do you end up going early? Prison.
Exactly. Yep.
So
Because you ain't got nothing else better to think about, man.
and
You
they
don't.
and they
Yeah.
they filed a law to build another prison with 5,000 beds too. So all this stuff
Mm.
go hand in hand. Ain't nothing
Yeah,
new
all
under the
go hand
sun.
in hand. So before I go to the next thing, that's why I wanted to ask you, right? Like going into politics, right? Like, I always wondered this, even growing up, like, how do a person like, let's say if we had like a center or something, and the kid say, "I want to be a politician." How do we give that kid information to like make this politician that they can understand what they're being exposed to before they get into it? You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
sometimes I think a lot of people voting, but they really understand that the how politics work? Because is there such thing like as a clean politician when you have to deal with all of them sometimes? You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you have to deal with everybody. You can't just go in there and just like, I'm just gonna be clean and wholesome and not deal with nobody. Then you never get nothing passed. You know, you just been there for 4 years and nothing passes because nobody don't fool with you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I think that's the thing. Sometimes I'll kind of understand like you see a person go into office, but in order to get stuff done, you got to deal with both sides. You can't just deal with one side or who you don't
yeah.
like. You know what I'm
That
saying?
you gotta have. I say, you know what I'm saying, one of the biggest strengths of any good politician is the ability to be diplomatic.
Right.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
That
Like
makes sense.
you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, your diplomacy is gonna be major because you're gonna be around people all day long that don't share the same values that you do.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You're gonna be around
Exactly.
people all day long that ain't got the same character you got, ain't got the same moral
Yeah.
compass.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So being diplomatic is key to that. And
Yeah.
and then just in general, just understanding, you know what I'm saying, the political process and how things work. So, you know what I'm saying, one of the most important classes that a lot of times get overlooked, on a level for us to like to be involved in civic engagement is when you're in middle school, high school, man, that civics class.
Yeah.
That civics class is important because, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, if you can remember a lot of that stuff, then you'll remember how the makings of our political procedures are, what they're founded on.
Right.
And I think that any kid that wants to be like a politician, I say one, you know what I'm saying, you got to understand, focus on your strengths and what you're knowledgeable about.
Hmm.
If you're
Yeah.
looking to make a change in the world on a positive level, but
Right.
also, you know what I'm saying, you got to get involved in your state legislative session.
Mm.
And
Okay.
even if it's just you interning for a advocacy group,
Right.
or or if you could just, if you got the free time to be up there at the Capitol, look and see how things work. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Notice how, like, how bills get passed. Look at your sponsors on bills. Look at these different groups that are
Yeah.
spending lobbyist dollars on that type
Man,
of stuff,
boy.
and it'll give you a better understanding of what goes on because
And see, that's the thing, right? We don't really understand that how to be lobbyists, man. Like I was
yeah,
trying to tell my homeboy, like, in order to bring that kind of money back to the community, we have to, give our kids the information on what to go get. And then instead of go working at Amazon, when you work at Amazon, it ain't nothing you can bring back because you're just trying to survive. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But you go into stuff like that, you making money in chunks. You can, make a nonprofit and donate because that's what they do. They make money and put it in the nonprofit, and then use that to fund your
uh,
cause or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like every wealthy person, for the most part, got some
Oh yeah,
philanthropic cause that
yes.
they gonna put their money towards.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because I keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? Philanthropy to me, one of the reasons that it exists is to launder the reputations of the
yeah,
most wealthy
exactly.
people.
It wouldn't exist if it didn't give them a benefit. It wouldn't exist. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It
you
wouldn't
know,
exist.
they gonna do a little good when they doing a little bad too,
Yeah,
to
for
try to
sure.
even and balance things out if they can. Well, most of them can't.
And that's why
But
we got to learn about the game, how it works, because we could
yeah,
be doing the same thing, but that's the
yeah.
thing. We don't have the information. That's the thing. We just don't
Yeah,
have the
so
information
if you
about it.
got a
Yeah.
cause that you think is like a good cause, then you know the best
Yeah.
thing you can do is get that exposure up to your cause and get some money to fund it because that's
Oh.
how they pass laws. Like a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
it's either one or two things or both. It's either people power or the economic power. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Okay.
That's what's controlling the politics.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so like any kid that's interested in that, I just gotta say you got to have a strong mind for it. And if
Boy.
you want to be a servant of the people, then
Yeah.
so you have to work real hard. If you just want to be a face with a title,
That'd be a face. Yeah.
popular,
Yeah.
then
Wear suits and stuff. Yeah. It
yeah,
look clean. Yeah.
then
Ain't gonna
you can
work.
learn how to do that in
Yeah.
elementary and all the way
Yeah.
through high school.
Boy.
Being popular take a little less gaming.
Because I always think about like how strong you have to be to when they have to. Sometimes could see you can see it in their eyes. They have to sign a bill that they don't want to sign in order to get something done for them in the future, and then everybody start prodding them about it. And they
Yeah,
have to keep going because they understand what's going on, but the people who trolling them don't understand what's got to be done. The negotiation that has to be done. It's a give and take sometimes. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I mean,
Yeah.
and sometimes you play the fool,
Yeah.
not knowing.
Exactly.
Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of HBCU presidents a couple years
Oh
ago
man. Yup.
when he did that photo op with Trump, thinking
Man.
like we finna get this money in these HBCUs.
Mm.
And all it was a photo op. They didn't
Yeah.
start receiving more money. They played themselves. And
Everybody
so
plays the fool sometime.
yeah, so the best thing you can do, like, is just have some pure intentions with whatever you're trying to do,
Yeah.
because sometimes it work out in your favor, sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
But politics is a dirty game, and
Dirty game.
especially when we talk about this two-party system. I ain't gonna go too
Yeah.
far into that, but
Yeah, I feel you.
a lot of
Yeah.
folks get caught up in this two-party system, thinking that's the only
Exactly.
way you can change things. You can
Exactly.
change things without being a Democrat or
I think
Republican.
it's just too competitive. It's just people just like too competitive, kind of like watching two teams. You picking teams
Yeah,
instead of looking at the greater goal of just making policies, but they get caught up in the colors and the. It's
yeah,
kind of like marketing almost. It's just crazy,
yeah.
man. Politics is
Only
crazy.
thing about it is it's two wings on the same bird fighting with each
Yeah.
other.
Yep.
So guess
Pretty
what?
much.
They ain't gonna never just let the bird crash and die. It's just, you know what I'm saying, it's a balancing act. That's
Do you
why
think? Do you think we get into a time where independent is going to start rising up, or you think it's going to be
you
a
got
mountain
to.
climb?
That's
Yeah.
one of the only other routes you got. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You can't depend on either party to really serve the people. So it's going to be a
Mm-mm.
rise in independence, I believe, because
Yeah.
this next generation, they ain't falling
Yeah.
for the okie doke.
Boy.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The
It's
Republicans all
starting.
the time, man, they love to quote Martin Luther King.
And the thing is, most of them are getting older. They like been in office for so long. They're like 70, 80 years old, man.
Yeah,
So it's gonna change. It's
they
gonna
coming from
change.
they coming from the Jim Crow era. You know what
Oh
I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, it has to be, we got to get younger people in office. Man, you know what I'm saying? Last week, Mitch McConnell had a whole seizure at a press conference.
Boy.
It's time to sit down.
You know what's crazy though? What I thought about us growing up, how we had family members that actually experienced that, but they never really talked about it. I don't blame them, but at the same time, it's like those are the best history lessons of people that you in your family that been through it. But I know they don't want to talk about it because of the memories. But I always think about it. I used to work with a guy's name was Elliot. This dude was probably like 80 years old. I was working at the airport. And he used to just tell me just different stuff, man. Like I asked him about the Little Rock Nine. He said, "Man, I was married with 2 kids by the time that happened, man." I'm like, "Man,
Yeah,
that's crazy." Man.
yeah.
But
Like,
he,
we seeing, people who
yeah,
really live all this history, and we talk about all the time.
yeah,
You know what I'm
man, it's pretty
saying? Like, they
crazy.
talked about the Tulsa massacre not too long ago, about them trying to get their reparations. It's still
Yeah,
people that survived that. That was 100
wow,
years ago.
man,
And they
that's
and they
crazy.
they still alive. They
I
seen it
mean,
all.
walking history books. I mean, they're literally walking history books, man. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So so that's one thing that the elders, like, why we need them, because it's like,
yeah,
all this stuff that's happening now, man, it hasn't happened before. And they can tell you
mhm,
exactly how things will go, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, if certain situations play out that way. So
yeah. So this probably next law I think I seen is they passed a law that you can conceal carry in Arkansas without a license. And I guess
yeah,
you if you get a license just for other states, but I was thinking, does this apply to everybody or does this apply to certain people? Because I don't know,
this
man.
apply this
I got
apply
mine. I got mine, but concealed to carry.
you know
But
what I'm saying,
you know,
certain professions require you to have a concealed carry license because they need to know that you went through that training.
especially the enhanced
Yeah,
one,
you know
so
what
that
I'm
we can
saying?
carry it in the courthouse or churches and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
But yeah. So you can do certain things that everybody can't do. But for
Yeah.
years we've been talking in the state about, is this an open carry state? And people have
Not for everybody.
exhibited open carry. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
for everybody. Better be careful about that.
Yeah, but people, not for everybody, for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, people have done it, and so now this law makes it pretty much like final. Yeah, this is an open carry state, and you can conceal it and carry. So it's the permitless carry is really gonna be we're gonna see the ramifications of it. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna see that, because not only we're an open carry state, in 2021 we passed the stand your ground law here.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we passed that in 2021, where you can stand your ground here. We already had the castle doctrine, which allows you to use deadly defense if you face imminent danger. But now we got to stand your ground in 2021, and now we'll permit this state. So like this is going.
What people don't realize though is you still have to defend yourself in court. Sometimes you're not gonna just do that and get off scot-free every time, and that's the part I don't think people understand.
Yeah.
Like, you can defend yourself, you can get in that stuff, but sometimes you still might have to go to court, man. And have a good lawyer, man. And that costs so much money. Ooh, it costs so much money. Oh, good God, man.
Yeah, it's always going to be an investigation for sure.
See, we don't know about this stuff. That's the kind of stuff we don't know about. People are like, I want to get a gun. You know how much it costs to retain a lawyer, man? Especially now with inflation, you're probably looking at 10 grand just to retain a lawyer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, trust me. I done been through the whole process of seeing how much it costs to defend yourself. And you know what I'm saying, with the money you spend on that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, you can go build you a house.
I bet.
You know what I'm saying? Real tough.
Yeah, man. So now we're finna go into tech. And I seen this. I don't know why he did it, but I guess he just flexing. But Twitter, Elon Musk changing from the bird to the X. Do you think this will hurt or hinder his business? Twitter.
You never can really tell.
Yeah.
Like, Twitter is one of my favorite apps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it because of.
I'm still learning. I need to learn Twitter more.
Man, I love Twitter because of the fact that, like, it's the best. To me, it's the best social media app for news.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
It's great that you can follow the hashtag and find all the news on it. They're gonna report it on Twitter before it becomes a whole article, because Twitter you only got 120 characters. So if it's news, they're gonna hurry to get them 120 characters off real quick. Boy. And then you can read the full story tomorrow.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that this rebranding stuff, he really Elon Musk really, messing things up. Like, people got used to seeing the Twitter bird.
I know, right? That's why I don't know why he did it. Once it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
Yeah, I think it's just ego, and you know what I'm saying. Some people just don't know how to let just take a win. You got the company, you can leave it like it is, but everybody has I guess some people got takeover syndrome.
They do.
They got to do this and that. Like back in the day, Jerry Krause, manager of the Bulls. You got a championship team. Man, all you got to do is keep this team together.
Keep it together.
But your dream is to start from scratch and build a champion.
So you can show people that you can build a team. It's all about it wasn't about Jordan. It's about you.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God! Ego, man.
You got one of the greatest defenders of all time. You got one of the best two-way players ever, and you got arguably the greatest player in the history of the game, all on one team. And all you want to do is do it on your own and show people
like Jerry Jones, like fired up Jimmy Johnson. Yeah. I know he ain't gonna say it, but I know he regret it. I know he ain't gonna say it out loud, but I know he regret it though, man.
Yeah, people Jimmy do this all the time with companies.
Yeah, they do. I remember I worked at a company and the management, like every time management changed, they always bring in their own people up under them. Yeah. And and they just clean house, man. It never fails, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You see this with television companies all the time. Somebody new buy it, they change the whole format. You know what I'm saying? They was showing these type of shows on the network. All of a sudden, all those shows on the network get canceled.
Yeah. Because is Twitter more text? Is Twitter more text? Because I'll be putting video. I do a lot of videos, but I think I need to do more text stuff. So it's really
Twitter is more about the text and what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
And also like the engagement that you can get with different people.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot
I'm
of
still
videos
growing though. Yeah, I'm still growing though. So yeah, I'm still
it's
growing.
it's a lot of videos on Twitter now. But I think the main thing with Twitter is can you throughout the day engage people with your random thoughts and your stories and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what the big deal is. It's like create the content that really engages people. And can you engage them with your words? Like you got to be really clever to just post something on Twitter and keep on getting retweeted. You know what I'm saying?
I'm too outside the box. I may be too outside the box for that one. So,
but I think it's worth staying on the app.
Yeah.
But he needs to leave it alone.
I know, right?
If he gets to the point where people have to pay to be on Twitter, then Twitter gonna take a nosedive like MySpace did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just all thing I could say on that, man.
So moving into our next topic, realistic or cap. I seen this quote. I mean, this article. I don't know if it's an article. Somebody did like a post maybe on Facebook or TikTok. It was one of them. She said, "I'm a 30-year-old female, maybe on Reddit, 30-year-old female that has been talking to a 32-year-old male for about 2 months. We've gone on dates and connect really well in person. He used to text me good morning every morning, and recently that slowed down. It's usually on the weekends, so I end up double texting. How should texting look in early stages of dating? I don't want to come off as too clingy, which you probably already did. We're both really busy people. I also don't want to come off as uninterested." Oh man, I remember them days when I was younger. It's so funny, man. I be talking to my wife about those days. It's like you don't want to see Mike in his 20s, man. It just wasn't a good look for you. It won't be good.
Yeah.
She won't believe me, man. She's like, "Nah, all right, I'm trying to tell you." So my thing is like, guys will lose interest if no progress is made. You know what I'm saying? If they don't get no red zone trips, no touchdowns, they probably lose interest real fast, man. You know.
Yeah, you know, like to me, those type of text messages don't really mean a lot to me, and probably not to the average male. Like that good morning text.
Only if they getting action. Only if they getting, especially when you're 20. Only if you're getting action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not a big deal because you know, like I know when I wake up, I got a routine that I got to go through, and so I'm not really thinking about texting somebody good morning. Even if I get good morning text, I might wait till I get to my office or something to reply because I'm trying to get ready and take care of responsibilities.
Right.
But I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, honestly, I think it really means a lot to her. And so if he know, maybe he'll reply and start doing it more consciously. But I don't think she needs to read a lot into that because you know when something be fresh and something new, you always you want to do that all the time.
Yeah, but so you got to be careful with your feelings, man.
Yeah, but as you progress, you know you want to do it less and less. It's like you know getting a brand new video game. You might get that and want to play that for like a few hours when you first get it.
Yeah, for sure.
2 months later, you know what I'm saying, you might go play it on the weekend only, or you know when you got some real downtime. So you know what I'm saying. Like I think that I don't think you need to read too much into that. But at the same time, you know, like you say, she already didn't put a whole lot of interest into that.
Yeah, I think sometimes, like I say, man, sometimes your feelings can make things seem something seem more than what it is.
Yeah,
and a lot of times that's what get people caught up. That's why people be talking about dating and stuff. It'd be so funny, man. Like hearing dudes talk about some stuff. He's like, man, who cares, man? Sometimes dudes be insecure about stuff. He's like, who cares about this stuff, man? You know what I'm saying? Or some girl, you know, like this, talking about why he ain't texting me, man. You know why. Sometimes you know why you ignore the obvious. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Sometimes people ignore the obvious.
Yeah, you know, and then everybody, like,
yeah.
You know, everybody don't have the same type of personality. Some people
That's
like
true.
to text all day long.
Boy.
Like, to me, I'm pretty decent at texting, but like sometimes, like if it's like text after text after text, I just stop responding until I got an opportunity to have some free time to do that.
Yeah, that's 20-year-old stuff. That's like what 19-year-old stuff.
Yeah,
man.
if you're really working a job, how can you text all day long? And you know.
Even then, though, you know, most dudes, like I say, most dudes when they're younger, I'm not saying all, but I say about 60, 70% of guys, they only really text if they get in action. If they not getting in the red zone and scoring touchdowns, they're not really giving that much time in the game. It's just how it is, man. I
Yeah,
wish I could tell you something better. I wish I could say it.
yeah. I mean, and it's a short attention span too when you're
Man,
younger. You
and
know what
hit
I'm
you with that
saying?
franchise tag. Yeah, man.
Yeah. You
Like
know what
some
I'm
girls, they
saying?
want long term. They want the long term deal, but they not performing, and it's weird. It's like you want me to sign you long term, but I'm not getting the return on investment. So kind of
Hey,
how it work, man. You know.
yeah. It's like, hey, you got to get something out the ordeal. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
In order
Yeah.
to be like that, because when you're young and you out here, you know what you say, you score touchdowns, you in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of distractions out here. Every day is, you know what I'm saying, something new. And so, like, really, real talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody in them type of situations, you just really got to
Yeah.
sit there and realize
Yeah,
some people some people are searching for a future,
boy.
and some people are enjoying the present. So,
Exactly.
you
And
know what I'm
sometimes we talked about that last podcast. People don't even talk about that. How many people go out on dates and they never talk about, are we a couple? What are we doing here? They just hanging out. Just, I
saying?
know I've done it. And it's like, if she don't say nothing, I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah,
And
and
then,
then
and then
I mean, and then as a man, that's that's the burden, the financial burden. A lot of times going to be on you, and
what's
so
that?
you don't want to just be spending your money aimlessly.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, hey,
exactly. So I'm,
it starts working out eventually.
so I'm gonna ask you the bonus question, like I asked Saeem. Osiris at 16. What insight would you give him?
Oh man, I would just say, just a be relentless about chasing your dreams. Like
Yeah.
don't be hesitant. And sometimes you think that you're cautious about what you want to go after because you think you're not qualified. And
Mm.
so I would just tell my younger self to be confident in every room that you walk in,
Oh,
and,
for
and,
sure.
and own it, because like ain't nobody like you. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
you deserve to be in every room you in.
Yeah.
You qualified to do everything that you want to do.
Right.
And even if somebody try to talk you out of it, you know
Boy.
what I'm saying, still go forward with it, because life too short to just sit
Man.
there and um, be scared to take chances and take advantage of those opportunities that come
Yeah.
at you. So, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
just be brave and go out and try to, conquer the world and do your thing.
Boy.
You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times we just really get caught up in, these titles and these labels, and we look at what everybody else got going on. And, that having that confidence, you
Man.
got to have I say this, man, you got to have the confidence of a mediocre white man.
Ha.
You know what I'm saying? And I say this,
Yeah.
it's not a racist statement at all, but I
Nah,
just
nah.
say
I know
this,
you said.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like sometimes the bar will be set up, 50,000 feet in the air for a title or a position or a job, and they still will walk in the room like, I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm the one.
Yeah.
And you look at what's your experience, what's your history, what's your qualifications, what are your
Yeah.
accomplishments, and they probably can't tell you none of that stuff, but they'll sit there and tell you, look at your face, like, but I can do this.
Right.
And a lot of times,
I've done that. I've said that
yeah,
in interviews. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of times they'll get that position. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They'll work it through nepotism, or they'll do it through whatever avenues they can. But
Yeah.
so I know black people, we look at things a little bit more logically.
Boy.
And so I just say, if you want it, just go after it,
Yeah.
because nobody can deny you what's yours. And you know what I'm saying? If you get a couple of doors shut in your face, just keep on moving, and
For
one of
sure.
them doors gonna open up for you. So
Yeah.
just be brave,
Well, I try to tell kids, learn about yourself, man. Learn what you're naturally good at. Like really hone in on your skill set. Like when did you really start getting into music? Like for like when did what age what because I remember you was always into different kind of music because you turned me on to like some different stuff. Kind of gave
Yeah,
me a more of a better outlook on music instead of just listening to Project Pat and rap all the time. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
You
because I know
know,
I used to listen to other stuff too. My mom, she was like in the New Jack Swing and stuff like that.
yeah,
But then, like I said, I started listening to, Hall and Oates and all kind of stuff, man. You know what I'm
yeah. You
saying?
know, I got the music when I was young,
Yeah. Yeah. But
and
when you start recording, like recording and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah. So like, yeah. So when I finally had the opportunity to like, record music, it happened like early adulthood.
Okay.
And I dabbled in it a little bit as a teenager, but I never really
Yeah.
got to take my time and learn anything
Yeah.
because what I'm saying, I didn't have the knowledge and the money to like what I'm saying,
Boy.
know where to go.
Yeah.
But when I got into my early adulthood, it really was when I started like, man, I really just looked up on hosting an open mic when I was young.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And what I'm saying, it started for me going in there on a whim one time
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
myself because my boys didn't want to go to poetry night, open mic night. They want to
Oh
go
no.
to the club.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
I remember
man,
you talking about open mic. I remember you talking about that.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I was like, man, I want to go do something else. Like I'm tired of clubbing every
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, and then,
Boy.
man, I'm gonna just tell you, just to be honest with you, like I started writing poetry in high school to one of my
I,
ex-girlfriends. And that's how we used to communicate. And so by the time I was an adult, I had all these poems
they used to
that
call you
were
Lil Zane, though. They used to call you Lil Zane, man, in high school.
like, man, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
I
man.
was out
Yeah.
here, man. So
Yeah.
like, when I first ran up on the open mic, I had my poems ready and all this type of stuff. And
Yeah.
then that's when I started meeting the different women that did this and did that, and different guys that did
Yeah.
this creatively. And
Yeah.
that's when I was able to find a studio because like people
Yeah.
see the talent.
Okay.
They was
Yeah.
like, man, come to the studio, check this
Yeah.
out.
For sure.
And then I started linking up with all these different artists in the community. And that's
Yeah.
when I really started to develop my craft. And then now, what I'm saying, years later, I'm able to travel and go places, go perform and get paid for my talent. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
here recently over the last few years, I've been able to combine that with my work. So it's
Yeah.
really just a blessing.
Cool.
Like a lot of artists can't travel, go get paid,
Nah.
and clock hours for their job too at the same
No.
time.
Exactly.
And blend
Yeah.
both worlds together. Like I take the artistry side hustle with the day job, and then combine both of them, and then it works for me. So like
Yeah.
like when I'm on my resume, it's gonna tell you that I'm a teaching artist.
Right.
On my cover letter, it's gonna tell you I'm a teaching artist because hey, what I'm saying, that's how it help educate people. So
Yeah, I used to want a beat machine, man. I just couldn't afford it. But when I was younger, I used to want a beat machine. I used to like producing. I don't know why. But never could afford it. Or I never thought about buying one when I did have the money. But man,
yeah, I
I'm
got
I'm, I'm gonna end up buying one day. I'm gonna end up buying one just playing around, man. But
yeah,
yeah, I used to love beats, man. That's making beats, man.
them beat programs that they had that they still got, what I'm saying, it
Yeah,
simplified a lot of things for people. And so like
yeah,
even that every once in a while I dabble in, what
yeah,
I'm saying, trying to produce,
yeah,
man, songwriting for other people. I've
yeah.
done that. So like,
Like I didn't
it's
even know.
it's a good outlet, I'll say that
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I didn't even know I was gonna fall into IT, man. I was just trying to figure stuff out too, man, and just working different jobs. But and finally, when I got fired from Red Cross, my mom was telling me, man, she should go to school. And when I was going to school, I think I went to school for painting body first because I like cars and stuff. Like I could do that. I paint cars. Then the teacher was telling me, he's like, you too smart. He told me in so many ways, you too smart
Yeah,
to just paint cars. Like I'm looking at you picking up on it way too fast, man. You need to go to school for some other stuff. That's when find out about IT, like working and networking. But like I told my wife, I didn't think about IT at all when I was younger. Didn't even know what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like I
yeah,
used to like see people do it, but they would never tell you what it was. And that's why, like I said, I try to share information, with younger people if they want to
yeah.
hear it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
Because
yeah, it's important, what I'm saying. That's
yeah,
one thing. When every time I speak in front of like any youth groups or whatever, and it's
yeah,
about their future, You know what I'm saying? I try to bring as many people together with me that are on like diverse paths in their careers.
Yeah.
To just show them like the opportunities that you can have if you just open up your mind to the possibilities.
Boy.
You know what I'm saying? Like I used to be at the Boys and Girls Club, and I had a young male group that was like 12 through 17. Yeah. And I would ask them about their future in the beginning, and all of them would say, basketball player, rapper, football player. Boy. And man, we got a whole studio in the back. You're not using that, so you don't want to be a rapper. Because if you did, you'd be in the studio getting this free studio time learning.
Man.
You don't need to play for your school football team or basketball team. You're not getting a scholarship to LSU.
No.
I'm sorry. That ain't how it works. You know, it might have did something like that back in the day. You might get a scholarship for playing street ball or something like that. Somebody finds you. But that was in the 60s and 70s.
Boy,
you know what I'm
for
saying?
real. And then to go pro, you got to work out almost like a professional, like probably every day just to go pro. Now, raw talent ain't enough. Raw talent is just not enough. I don't know if kids understand that. Like, you got to be like Kobe, man, working out, man, like, 2 times a day probably in the summer, like looking at game film, understanding how to break down defenses. I mean, man, the kids understand. It's taking a lot, man.
Less than 1% of high school basketball players make it to the NBA. Less than 1%. So,
and then keeping them out of trouble. Yeah.
You
I was telling my wife,
you got a 0.7% chance to go to the NBA. So,
and I was telling my wife, a lot of these kids, they come to school and they'll play the game while they're at school, but when they go home, that's where the disconnect happens because they're not still primed to. When they get home, they're trying to fit in or wherever they live. You know what I'm saying? I told her, if you live in the projects, I mean, you live in project housing. It's so many people that you're dealing with. When you get home from school, most people not on education when you get out of school, when you get off their school bus, you know what I'm saying? And who knows, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I've been there. I lived in projects before. So, a lot of times you ain't thinking about education. They don't really have stuff to go to. Like, when they having a studio in the back of the boys club, that wasn't a thing when we was younger. It just wasn't. We didn't even have the internet. And people don't even. We didn't even have Google on our phone when we was younger. Where we could look up stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know what I'm saying? It's different times now, and so like, you know what I'm saying, the access to information is totally different. You know what I'm saying? You want to be an athlete, you might as well not even get a job while you in high school. You might as well just
work out,
work on whatever you plan to work on to go to college and try to make it to the pros. Or at least work on it long enough to where you can get to college and get an education, and then your degree might take you somewhere. But like,
get a degree in something that makes
sense. Athlete stuff now, no more. Man.
No, exactly. So this is our last section, man. Man, thanks for coming on the podcast, bro. I appreciate that, man.
No problem.
Schooling me on these politics, man. Anytime you want to come on and talk about something, just let me know, bro. We'll make it happen, man. If you need me to come record you, man, let me know, man. You know what I'm saying? Last section called Pick One. Let me know what you think. Captain D's or Long John Silver?
The only reason why I'm gonna say Long John Silver is because, let me tell you why I'm saying it.
Okay.
Because last year I was riding around and I was like, I know we ain't got no Long John Silver, no Captain D's no more.
Oh no, it's still there.
And they still there.
They're still there.
And so I was gonna order from both of them. I rode through the Captain D's. Rode through the Captain D's line, and nobody came on the mic.
Oh wow!
And so I rode over. I was on Asher Colonel Glenn, of course. So I just rolled over to the university over there to Long John Silver's, and I was like, y'all open? The brother was like, yeah. What you need? I ordered some. I ordered some fish. So I would just say Long John Silver because I don't even remember what Captain D's tastes like.
Yeah, we just went there not too long ago, man, and man, I think we had just left the house. We was taking the kids riding around, and we went there, and I don't know if it was because we was hungry, but when they gave us the Captain D's through the window, man, it just smells so good. I was like, man, I don't know if it's because I'm hungry, but man, that fish smell good. But we always get the family pack though, because you want to eat the crunchy skin. Now they put my braces back on. I can't eat it now, but man. something about Long John Silver's, it leave an aftertaste I don't like a gritty aftertaste. I never
Uh,
liked about Long John Silver. Maybe it's
But
just me though.
when
I'm
I ate
weird
that
like that.
Long John Silver's, man, I guarantee you it was a bit over 10 years since I had either
Yeah,
one of Captain
probably
D's
was
or Long
good.
John. I can't remember what either
Yeah,
one of them tastes like.
yeah. We still go to Captain D's because my son he like the macaroni and cheese. He like
Yeah,
vegan. He don't know it yet, but he a vegan. And like I said, I like to eat the fish, get that 10 piece, man, and be done with it.
yeah.
So,
I might have to go try it out then.
so this is that one. Bo Jackson or Walter Payton.
Oh man, you know that's tough. That's tough. That's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough for different reasons.
It
Um,
is. That's a tough one, man. Cause
man,
both.
I mean, I can't even stunt. I can't even stunt, man. I gotta go with Bo Jackson.
I know, right? It's
You know what I'm
hard,
saying?
man.
Bo Jackson, because Bo Jackson was just a different.
Man, Bo Jackson was a video game in real life.
He was a different beast. Like he did
Oh,
the two sport thing. He
yeah.
got the legendary stories about his childhood all the way up through his pro career.
I mean, the dude
Only
ran
thing
up a
stood him
wall.
back is the injuries. You say what?
Yeah, the dude ran up a wall in baseball after the
Yeah,
injury. He ran up a wall and flipped.
yeah,
Who run up a baseball wall?
yeah. He
That
did
was
all of
crazy.
that,
Yeah.
man. He was a beast in his day, man. He had the Bo Jackson sneakers. I
Yeah.
want to, you know what I'm saying? Those are some all white Bo Jackson Knights,
Oh
man.
man.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Them joints is legendary. Still, people still wearing them and they can catch them.
Yeah.
Sweetness was the truth. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
he
saying?
was.
My
He
favorite
was
running back
both.
of all time, I got to say this, favorite running back of all time is Barry Sanders.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Barry
that
Sanders was
that was
cold.
he was the cheat code, man. He undervalued when he was playing
Man.
lines. But I just got to
Yeah.
go with Bo Jackson because of the,
Yeah.
two sport man athlete. He
Yeah.
was a bigger than life superstar.
Man, dude was so
He
fast,
just one of the
man.
greatest running backs of all time, Walter Payton.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't get to see hardly any of his.
Nah.
All I seen
Nah.
was
Yeah.
highlights.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, but
Whew. Bo Jackson, boy.
tough question right there. They both are
Yeah.
one of the greatest running backs of all time and one of the greatest athletes of all time,
Yeah, man. So man, anything, man, you want to plug anything, man, before we get ready to close out, man?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, shout out to the Little Rock Freedom Fund. Go look
Oh
up
yeah, for sure.
the website, LR Freedom Fund, you know what I'm saying, .com. That's where you can check what we got going on in the community as activists in our community, what we're doing. We're going to be here down in Wynn, Arkansas on Saturday, giving back to the community. Free supplies, free household items, free food,
Okay.
back to school stuff, everything.
Cool,
So
man.
check that out. If you are in the music, I am an artist, hip hop artist, R&B and poet.
Yeah. That last one you did was cold though on Facebook.
Yeah, man,
That was
appreciate
cold,
you.
bro.
Appreciate you, man. So you
Yeah.
can find my music online, OSYRUSBOLLY. That's me. And you can find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, all that type of stuff. So check out the music. And also, last thing I plug is just, you know what I'm saying, I'm working with these youth. We got a dope magazine called Our Voices. You can
Yeah.
see me in the streets or you can catch me on social media. My name is the same on social media, every platform. But I got magazines that our youth did. They're amazing. 14
Yeah.
through 18-year-olds put together a 47-page, fully colored magazine that includes everything from articles to art, photography, to movie reviews, everything. And so if you want the Our Voices magazine, I got them on deck. Shout out to the Village Place. We collaborated on that project.
For
And
sure.
man, we can already put out over 1,000 some magazines in Arkansas.
Nice.
So, you know what I'm saying? We good. We good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We got to link up, man. When you go out there, man. Talk to
For
them
sure.
kids, man. I definitely talk to them about some IT stuff, man. How to get in the game.
For sure.
They giving away money too, man. They giving away money in IT too,
I'm
man.
doing it, man. So just
Man.
let me know, man. I've always got some youth I'm working with,
Yeah.
especially when school year starts. So yeah,
I know, right? I got to start school too, man. Shoot. August, man.
no
Just got
doubt.
done getting all my core classes out the way this last summer class. So now I think I got like a year left. Yeah, I think I got a year left. Like next, I'll be done next spring. That's what I'm shooting for. So
That's what's up.
get
Congrats.
thing out the way. I'm telling you, kids, degrees still matter. Don't fall for that stuff, man. I
You
said
go to
that one
school,
thing
you
too.
might as well get it.
I don't need a 4-year degree. Then you go to interviews. We want to give you the job, Mr. Gray, but you just don't have the education. So, we're gonna have to pass. So it's like when I get this degree, I don't want to hear nothing. I just want to hear the numbers. What the numbers look like. Man. Just line them
Yeah,
up. Let me look at them. So.
real.
But yeah, man, thanks for coming on, man. Oh,
Yeah,
anytime you want to come back, talk about something, let me know, bro. We'll make it happen,
yeah,
man.
no doubt.
Yeah, man. And let us
Already.
know in the comments, guys. Get ready to sign out, hit the like button, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think. And yeah, guys, for to get ready to sign out, man. And boy, appreciate Bali for coming on, man.
All right, y'all. Peace.
And it's recording.